And so are you today? We'll complete questions from Master book number 31, page 25. General vision. Okay. Look at with me about question number 1. If we have n of x was equal x minus 1 over x plus 3, then the domain of n power negative 1 equal what? The inverse about this function, he won't find the domain of n power negative 1 of x. It will be r subtract by zeros of numerator and denominator, right? 1 and negative 3. The domain will be r subtract 1 and negative 3. Okay. Question 32. If n of x equal x over x power 2 plus 9, then the domain of n power negative 1 will be what? You will find domain of the inverse of this function. It will be r subtract by zeros of numerator and denominator. Zeros of numerator, it will be 0, but denominator we haven't zeros because we have x power 2 plus 9. If we put x here, any number in x, such that 4, 3, 1, negative 1, negative 2, the result will be positive. Then we haven't 0 in denominator. Then the domain will be r subtract by set of 0. Next question, 33. The function f of x equal x power 2 minus 9 over x has multiplicative inverse, then their common domain is what? Okay, the common domain here it will be what? R subtract by zeros of numerator and denominator, because we have here common, they have what? He give us the function multiplicative inverse, their common domain. He won't find their common domain by write domain about the function and reciprocal, right union between it. Domain of this function, it will be r subtract by zeros in denominator, and domain of this function about inverse of this function x over x power 2 minus 9, you can write the reciprocal. Then the zeros will be negative 3 and 3. Okay, negative 3 and 3. Okay, we can find the first domain about the function r subtract by zeros of the function, and domain about the inverse about this function, it will be r subtract by 0 and negative 3 and 3. Then the union between them, it will be the equal the domain r subtract zeros of two functions. Choose letter C about question 33. Question 34. If x plus 5 over x plus 3 is the multiplicative inverse of algebraic function x minus a over x plus 5, it's a multiplicative inverse. It's meaning x plus 5 over x plus 3, the multiplicative inverse about this function, it will be x minus a over x plus 5. It's meaning x plus 3 over x plus 5. It will be equivalent x minus a over x plus 5. Numerator will be equal numerator. Then the value of a here it will be negative 3, because negative times negative equal positive. Then the value of a it will be negative 3, because negative times negative equal positive, like this number. And the value of a it will be negative 3. Choose letter C about this example. Question 35. The domain of the multiplicative inverse of the function, we can find the multiplicative inverse of this function. It will be x power 3 plus 27 over x minus 2. The domain will be r subtract by zeros of numerator and denominator. Numerator will be 2 and numerator it will be negative 3. Or you can factorization this function to know the steps. Write x minus 2 here and up x plus 3, and x power 2 it will be x power 2 here, and write negative 3x plus 9. Zeros of denominator it will be 2 and numerator will be negative 3. This is the domain about this function. The domain will be r subtract by 2 and negative 3. 2 and negative 3 only. Okay, choose letter P. The result will be letter P. Question 36. If n of x equal power 2 subtract by 5x over x minus 3, then the domain of n power negative 1 of this function, it will be r subtract by zeros about numerator and denominator. We can factorization this numerator and denominator. You can use factorize by write height common factor between two. Now write x here, height common factor between two terms, x power 2 divide x equal x, and negative 5x divided by x, it will be 5 over x minus 3. Then the domain about this function, it will be r subtract by zeros in denominator and zeros in numerator. It will be r subtract set of 3 and 5. Question 36 shows letter D. Understood steps? You can write first equals 0 and second equals 0. First will be equal 0 where x equals 0 and x equal 5, and denominator equals 0 if we put x equals 3. Okay, understood. Next question 37. If n of x equal x power 2 plus 2x over x minus 2 product by x power 2 plus 2, then domain of n power negative 1, we can write simplest about this function. Write x product by x plus 2, write x height common factor, and numerator x minus 2 product by x power 2 plus 2. Then the domain, we can write real numbers subtract by zeros of numerator and denominators. Zeros of numerator will be here, x will be 0 and negative 2, and in denominator write 2 only. Then the domain will be r subtract by set of 0 and negative 2 and 2. We know x power 2 plus 2, we can't find zeros here because we have x power 2 plus 2 not equal 0. If you put a number here at x, the result will be positive. Okay, then the domain will be r subtract by 0 and negative 2 and 2. 0, it's so positive or negative? It's negative, sorry, the result here was negative. Again, this example was x power 2 subtract by 2x over x minus 2 product by x power 2 plus 2. He want to find the domain of this function, inverse about this function in power negative 1. We can real number, write zeros of numerator and denominator, write x product by x minus 2 in numerator, and in denominator like it, x power x minus 2 is denominator like here. Okay, x power 2 plus 2, domain will be equal 0 and 2, and in denominator 2, don't write 2 again, since the result will be r subtract by set of 0 and 2.